I'm not gonna lie to you and say everything's been great.
After months of saying that they weren't returning to reality TV anytime soon,
Everybody
Just needs
the crew included, everybody just kind of needs a break.
the Busbys are officially back, and the crazy details about their decision to return are absolutely bizarre.
And then they just all really started to escalate.
So guys, season 8 of OutDaughtered finished airing in May of 2021, and the last 2 years have been extremely strange. Us followers of the Busbys were left feeling really confused about the future of the show.
Still haven't quite 100% found out yet.
And TLC had announced if it had been renewed or canceled, but the show's fate might have not been completely up to them because the Busbys were not sure that they even wanted to do TV anymore.
It was just really difficult to film. There was just so many restrictions.
But in March of 2022, Adam finally gave his Instagram followers a tiny hint about what was really going on, and unfortunately, it wasn't exactly what people wanted to hear. So Adam revealed that OutDaughtered had not been canceled, but that didn't mean that the family would be returning for another season, because it actually seemed like Danielle and Adam were not very interested in filming at the time, which was honestly pretty surprising, mostly because when you think about it, they have a lot of kids to support, and I'm sure that the money they were making from TLC made it a lot easier to support them. And then the following month, Adam shared a post on Instagram that had a lot of people questioning what was actually going on. So it turns out that TLC had sent the family a birthday gift, which was a musical piano floor mat, and the gift was obviously really sweet, but there were quite a few people who thought that TLC might have had ulterior motives, because many people believed that TLC could have sent the birthday gift as an attempt to bribe Adam and Danielle to come back to TV, but if the network truly had been trying to get the Busbys to return to filming, they were out of luck, because last July, Adam and Danielle finally shared a video update on their YouTube channel about the future of the show, and they talked about why they hadn't filmed in over a year, and their explanation was pretty astonishing. So Adam and Danielle admitted that they had made a difficult choice about OutDaughtered, and they decided that the family needed to take a break from the show for a while, but they didn't know exactly how long their break would last, which seemed kind of impossible. Apparently, there were multiple factors that played into the Busbys' decision, and they knew they needed to take some time away when they realized that everyone involved felt strained. But one of the main reasons why the family was taking an extended break was honestly crazy, because Adam and Danielle explained that their daughters were all getting older, which meant that they had to attend school during the day, and not only that, but the kids were also involved in extracurricular activities and sports, and that led to the family and the camera crew both being in an extremely overwhelming situation. And Danielle and Adam said that by the time that they got the girls home from school, there was only a small window of free time, and then they had to pack up again and get to the evening's activities or sports games, all while also trying to film a TV show, and that must have been incredibly draining. And the minimal amount of open time that the Busbys had each day was easily taken over by filming, and it was also allegedly tough for production to schedule time to film the family, since there wasn't much availability in the first place, and eventually the camera crew was also burnt out, and they had to constantly be on the move, and they'd been scrambling to film the family's brief windows of free time. But that wasn't the only reason why the Busbys decided to take a step back from the show. But Adam claimed that filming through part of the COVID pandemic was really tricky, because usually production would try to capture as much footage as possible outside of the home to make the season more exciting, but for season 8 that was basically impossible, because Adam said while they were filming there were still so many COVID restrictions in their community, and because of that the family was essentially forced to film inside the house for the majority of the season, and this ended up causing another bizarre challenge. So Danielle and Adam explained that filming inside was already boring in itself, but the camera crew still needed enough footage to put together a full season's worth of material, which obviously just sounds stressful. So overall, that meant filming season 8 took much longer than any of the previous seasons. And yeah, Adam revealed that it took about a year to film season 8 compared to the 3 to 5 months that production usually spent filming a full season, just because nothing was really happening. And now it's way easier to understand why everyone desperately needed a break, and it did not take long for the Busbys to realize how relaxing it was to not have cameras constantly following them around, and they really hadn't experienced a long amount of time without filming before, so they decided to make the most of their break, and what the family did next was pretty shocking. So after filming wrapped up for season 8, Danielle and Adam decided the family was definitely going to take at least a year away from the show, and they even planned a trip for basically every single month of that year, and I have a feeling that TLC was disappointed that they, missed the opportunity to film all those mini vacations, and it sounds like the Busbys Busbys had enjoyed taking time for themselves, but Adam and Danielle seemed uncertain about if they would actually ever return to filming or not, and before any other cancellation rumors could start, they made sure to set the record straight. And so Danielle and Adam claimed that they didn't have a date set to start filming again, and if that even ever was going to happen, because apparently they were still keeping their options open with TLC, and their main focus was regrouping as a family and taking time to decide their next move. And Adam and Danielle said that there wasn't any drama involved with production or the network, and there was no animosity. They just really needed to decrease the amount of time and stress in their lives, partially because of, a pretty concerning reason. And that is, from Danielle had her health issues, which were brought up in a couple of seasons ago and unfortunately had not been resolved. And however, she was sure that the stress had a huge impact on the severity of her symptoms. And Adam explained that even though it was frustrating that Danielle hadn't been given a formal diagnosis yet, they were heading in the right direction. And they knew that Danielle had some sort of autoimmune disorder, and still Adam claimed that there were hundreds of disorders that Danielle could be suffering from, and it wouldn't be a quick process to figure everything out. But she was already working with a nutritionist, and she was hopeful that by cutting out certain foods from her diet, her pain and headaches and inflammation would improve. And after Adam and Danielle were finished giving their updates, it was a while before they announced anything related to the show, but finally, at the beginning of June, TLC released a sneak peek trailer, and Season 9 of OutDaughtered is premiering on July 11th, and Danielle and Adam have both confirmed the news, and now a lot of people are unbelievably curious because the Busbys seemed pretty over filming for a while, so what made them decide to return for another season? And judging by their, social media activity and the launch of Danielle's clothing boutique last year, they don't appear to be hurting for money, but at the same time, Danielle and Adam have 6 daughters, and raising them cannot be cheap, so I can't imagine that they'd agree to film again if there wasn't any sort of clear financial benefit involved. And maybe Danielle and Adam just genuinely needed a break to realize if they wanted to continue sharing their daughters' lives or not, and after taking time away, it's possible that they were ready to get back into reality TV. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see if Danielle and Adam explain anything about the last couple of years during Season 9, because it would definitely be interesting to hear why they decided to welcome the cameras back into their lives. But anyway, guys, what do you think about all this? Were you surprised to learn about that the show was coming back? And why do you think the Busbys decided to start filming again? Guys, let me know in the comments down below.